Hi friends, day 2, 6 weeks till summer kickoff. Amy Stoddard here with you again in the kitchen, and today I have a fun recipe for you, plant-based, my tempeh falafels. So first things first, why plant-based? Well, I think that there is definitely a trend now for a lot more plant-based meals in our weekly menus, and I've personally found that the more veggies and the more plant-based I eat, the more energy I have. And coming out of the last 2 years, turning the corner around the pandemic, I definitely want more energy. I want to get rid of that sluggish feeling. I want to get rid of that drag my feet feeling. I want vibrancy. I want to be re-energized. And so in my family, I'm incorporating a lot more plant-based recipes. And one of the recipes that I love was one that I developed for a client years ago, and it's tempeh falafels. So what are falafels? Falafels are a Middle Eastern street food, which is traditionally made with chickpeas. And so it's basically like it's deep fried, but mine aren't going to be deep fried, but sort of patties made with ground chickpeas and some herbs and garlic and spices, and they're delicious. Often you'll have them in a pita or wrapped, and super yummy. So this is a fun one. It's also, they're freezable. Now I make mine with tempeh, and I do that for a reason, because I love tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented soy product. It's sort of pressed and fermented soybeans, and it comes in a brick like this. I first enjoyed it in Indonesia actually, and I prefer this in my falafels to chickpeas because it's much higher in protein, way higher in protein, and higher in fat, which is great. Those are great for energy. They're also good for burning fat if you are wanting to get in shape, and we need protein for that, and also lowering carbohydrates. And so this is really good for balancing blood sugar, which is essential for my little ones, especially my little guy who's really sensitive to food, and too much carbohydrates make him go like woo. So I'm always wanting to balance blood sugar, and for me personally, I do a lot better on higher protein, lower carbs. So it just kind of hits everything for me and is awesome all around. So let's just dive in. So very easy, move this out of the way. What are your ingredients? So I take, I'll start with my garlic because I want to get that in my food processor first. So I take 4 cloves of garlic and I just put them in my food processor. Then I'm going to put a little bit of salt. So I have about a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put that in with my garlic because it's going to help make a nice paste. Not paste, but it's going to help chop the garlic up. And I'm going to add to that a little bit of my spices and my roughly chopped parsley. So my spices that I've used 2 teaspoons of ground cumin and 2 teaspoons of ground coriander. I'm adding a cup of roughly chopped, I did not spend all day on this, I just ran my knife through it really quick, parsley, flat leaf, I prefer. And I'm just gonna pulse this quickly, just really to get the parsley chopped a little bit more and the garlic. So a quick pulse, just to chop those up a little bit further before I add the tempeh. Let's see how, because I don't want to bite into a big chunk of garlic. Okay, lovely. I have a little bit of garlic in larger cubes there, but this is just saving me from chopping it by hand with my knife, which you could equally do if you don't have a food processor. Very easy. Okay, so I'll just show you. Voila. Everything is nice and chopped up. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add my tempeh. So I'm just going to break it into smaller bits, and that's just going to allow the food processor to do the work with less pulses, which means I can have a nice kind of mealy texture as opposed to too much of a paste. Okay, break that up. I'm going to add half a cup, or like half a finely chopped onion. So a medium onion, half of one will yield about half a cup, but go with the onion. Grab a small one, half of it. You don't really have to get crazy with measuring. Okay, chickpea flour, which I love. That's just gonna add it's gonna really blend with the flavors and help bind things together. It also makes this gluten-free, which is awesome. So I have 6 tablespoons, and I'm gonna add a teaspoon of baking powder, which is just gonna let the inside stay nice and fluffy and soft, beautiful texture. You can omit that, but that's what it's for. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is just pulse everything together until it comes together. The other thing you could do, which I might add, there we go, is, oh, lovely. I'm gonna add at this point, probably just, I'll see how it comes together. So this is great. I'm gonna leave it like this. Sometimes you can add a little bit of tahini, just to drizzle like a tablespoon or something, but I'm gonna leave my tahini for my dip, and that way, if you haven't put tahini in this, then it's sesame free in case there's any allergens. So, look at that, I'm gonna show you. So it's nice and mealy there, just pulsy. It's not like a paste, there's lots of texture, but I can still bring it together with my hands. So that's it, super fast. And the next step is, get rid of this blade here, and we're just gonna form them into, I form mine into little patties. So traditionally they're formed into little spheres and deep fried. I don't deep fry mine, I pan sear them and finish them in the oven. I did just get an air fryer, which I talked about yesterday, which I haven't tried yet, but I might try them in that. So the reason why I form mine into patties, of course, is because I'm searing them on the stove top. And so I want a nice golden crust on either side. Think mini burgers, right? And not traditional in terms of shape, but works great. And that way we're not deep frying them, which is, because you can still get that gorgeous golden crust on either side, which gives it that crunch. And so I just have a cute little patty like this, and I'll just line these up, and then you can freeze them if you want. So it's great. Like I said, cook once, eat often. Anytime I'm doing something, I want to have the time that I've spent in the kitchen make many meals. So either I'm cooking extra of something and then I can make it into a different meal the next day, or it's a beautiful curry that is, you know, just gets better over time and I can eat the same dish over and over. I'll make a big salad that lasts all week. I'm smart with my prep. I use individual components like spice rubs and vinaigrettes, so I can create a quick dish like I did yesterday, and I don't need to spend time on marinating or flavoring because I have all the components I need. So there's all these different tricks to be able to eat fresh, whole foods, a gorgeous, gorgeous diet, and have it come together quickly. All right, so I would just line up these on my tray, and I'm gonna take these to the stove top later, and I'm gonna smear a homemade pita, but you could totally do store-bought, with some hummus, and that is gonna be a beautiful, beautiful dinner alongside a easy chopped salad. So that's it. I hope you liked it, and some of you have been requesting recipes. Don't worry, I have a surprise coming for you soon. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.